Okay, hi guys. We'll start in a few minutes, okay? Just give us a few moments and we'll start. Today is, as most of you know, today is just a repeat of yesterday's class. So we'll be repeating whatever material we covered yesterday. So in case you weren't able to attend or you have friends who weren't able to attend, please let them know that they can join this meeting. The URL for this meeting is different. Okay, Gaurav is on the chat. So Gaurav, please let them know the URL on which they have to join because it's different from what we're going to use at 9 today. Okay, and I'm going to start at 7:45 sharp. We are running short on time because we have another class. We have another class at 7:45, so just let them know. Okay. We don't really have a lot of people over here. Is that something wrong? We just have 4 participants, and that includes Gaurav, Jitesh, and I. Yeah, Prashant, go ahead. Go ahead. What's your question? Yeah, we're going to do that in this class. So right now I'm going to teach you what a dictionary is. Did you attend yesterday's class? It doesn't matter, okay? I'm going to teach you what a dictionary does. That's exactly the topic of this class. Okay, I don't think there are a lot of people with us. I think Prashant is the only student with us right now. I think around 7 to 8 people missed class yesterday, and there were two who left class midway. So that's around nine. Okay, either ways, it doesn't matter because this class has to be recorded. There was a slight glitch yesterday, and I'm just going to make sure that yesterday's contents are available as video to you, everyone. So that's the purpose of this session. I'm going to wait for 2 more minutes. So if you guys want to call someone and let them know that there's a class going on, a repeat of yesterday's class, please let them know. Okay. All right. I'm just going to start. So in last class, what we did was we added a status message for the spy, and we added another spy to chat with. Okay. So this was achieved with the usage of lists, which is a derived data type, and with the usage of for loops. We saw for loops and lists in the last class. This class, we're going to see another extremely important data type, probably the most widely used data type, which is known as the dictionary. Okay, and we'll see it as we try to build the sixth and seventh features. Okay, so last time what we were doing was we were storing the name, age, rating, and online variables of a spy in 4 different variables. Okay, Prashant, I think you're the only student over here. So if you have any doubts, just ask me directly. Okay, just ask me directly. Yours is the only chat I'll be able to see. Okay, and I'm going to go a little quick, as in since you're the only person, so we should be able to be we should be done in an hour instead of an hour and a half. Okay, okay, good. So last time we saw that there were 4 distinct variables: spy name, spy age, spy rating, and spies online. So 4 different variables were storing 4 different data types. Okay, and then what we tried to do after that was introduce friends of the spy. So the friends of the spy, what that did was we initialized 4 different lists, and in each list we stored one particular property of one friend. So friend's name had the names of all the friends, friend's age had the names of all the ages of all the friends, and so on. And one important thing that we had to take care was that these lists were ordered. ठीक है, तो अगर सेकेंड नेम मोदी है तो फ्रेंड्स नेम के लिस्ट में अगर सेकेंड नेम मोदी है तो फ्रेंड्स एज में जो सेकेंड एलिमेंट होगा वो मोदी का एज होगा, और फ्रेंड्स रेटिंग का जो सेकेंड एलिमेंट होगा वो मोदी की रेटिंग होगी। फ्रेंड्स ऑनलाइन में सेकेंड जो वो बुलियन होगा वो मोदी की ऑनलाइन स्टेटस होगा। ठीक है। ओह आई एम सॉरी, Can you see it now? Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry about that. So I'll just go back again. So what I was telling is कि spy details जो हम पिछले क्लास में देखे थे, we were storing 4 different variables, 4 different kinds of data, ठीक है? और उसके बाद spy के जो friends थे, they were stored in 4 different arrays, lists, okay? And each position of the list indicated which friend it was. So this the nth index, अगर second index देखोगे तो second index was corresponding to just one friend in all the 4 lists, ठीक है? But इसमें there is a very glaring problem with this. One is कि if you wanted to do something, like if you wanted to run through the steps of seeing all the details of a friend named Modi, तो आपका दोस्त का name Modi है, आपको उसका नाम देखना है, एज देखना है, रेटिंग देखना है, ऑनलाइन देखना है, तो आप ये कैसे करोगे? तो you will have to go to the friends name वाला list and you will have to check for the value Modi. तो मैंने पिछले क्लास में दिखाया था कि this is done by the array.index method. So you will put array.index, you will put in Modi, and that function will return the index. तो Modi अगर second index पे है तो you'll get an index of 1 क्योंकि zero based index. Okay. After that you'll find the index of the element मिल गया. Then you will use that to access your friend's age. How will you do that? अगर index 1 है तो Modi का age क्या होगा? Friend's age of 1. उसका रेटिंग फ्रेंड्स रेटिंग ऑफ 1, उसका ऑनलाइन स्टेटस फ्रेंड्स ऑनलाइन ऑफ 1, ठीक है? बट एज द एग्जांपल सजेस्ट, यूजिंग अ सिंगल वेरिएबल फॉर अ स्पाई से क्या होगा कि वी कैन प्रिंट आउट ऑल द डिटेल्स ऑफ अ स्पाई एज सून एज वी फाइंड द स्पाई विद दैट नेम, ठीक है? सो इफ वी कुड डू दिस व्हाटएवर इज बीइंग सजेस्टेड हियर, कि अगर एक हमारे पास बस एक वेरिएबल होता और with that variable we could access all the details for our friend, for example Modi, then our operations would be extremely simple. So with whatever data types we have learned so far, int, float, lists, boolean, we cannot do this, ठीक है? मतलब list में हम कर सकते हैं, मतलब हम ये वो जो 4 arrays देखे थे वैसे हम कर सकते हैं, लेकिन वो बहुत cumbersome है. We need a better solution than that, ठीक है? And what that solution is, that is a derived data type called dictionary. Okay, so dictionary data type is literally it works the same way as an actual dictionary. So in an actual dictionary क्या होता है कि आपको कोई word ढूंढना होता है, then what do you do? Let's say you're trying to search for the word Farrago, तो आप अपने dictionary खोलते हो, एकदम middle में शायद खोलोगे, फिर देखोगे अरे ये M में है, तो you'll go to the left, then you'll see कि ज़्यादा left में चला गया, मैं D में हूँ, then you'll turn a little to the right, then you'll be on F. Then you'll search for FA, FARR, AGO, and finally you'll come back at it, ठीक है? तो one of the brilliant things about dictionary ये है कि एक typical dictionary में कुछ 20,000 words होते हैं, लेकिन dictionaries में चीजें retrieve करना बहुत ज्यादा आसान है. अगर मैंने आपको एक word बता दिया और आपको word का spelling पता है, तो आप dictionary use करके कुछ ही seconds में आप access कर पाओगे, ठीक है? तो डिक्शनरी का ये पार है कि इवन दो इट्स एन एक्सट्रीमली ह्यूज डेटा टाइप विद ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ डेटा, एक्सेसिंग बहुत इजी है, ठीक है? तो पाइथन डिक्शनरी का भी फंडा यही है कि यू कैन स्टोर डेटा गिविंग इट अ की, ठीक है? जैसे डिक्शनरी में लेट्स अज्यूम कि की अ वर्ड है, तो हमारे डिक्शनरी में की वर्ड है, इसका मतलब ये है कि इफ आई गिव यू Farrago, आप अगर डिक्शनरी को Farrago दोगे तो you will check it and then you'll give me the meaning of Farrago, and the meaning of Farrago here will be the value, ठीक है? तो dictionary consists of a set of key value pairs. बस dictionary क्या है, एक real dictionary क्या है? Real dictionary में भी it is a list of words and their meanings, ठीक है? Similarly, a Python dictionary is a list of a key and a value. Okay, so you can see here Farrago is the key and the meaning of that particular word will be the value, ठीक है? Okay, so as I said, a dictionary is basically a collection of many key value pairs, ठीक है? And a very important thing that you have to note about dictionaries is कि you can only have one key at a time, ठीक है? If you open up a dictionary, a word may have multiple meanings, लेकिन वो word एक ही बार list होता है. If you take dog, you can see there may be a lot of meanings described for a dog, लेकिन डॉग हाईलाइटेड सिर्फ एक ही प्लेस में होता है. तो यू नो देयर इज ओनली एग्जैक्टली वन एंट्री फॉर डॉग. उसके मीनिंग्स काफी अलग हो सकते हैं लेकिन एंट्री एक ही है. तो डिक्शनरी में भी यही है कि इफ यू कैन हैव ओनली वन की. ठीक है. इफ यू ट्राई टू एंटर अ डिफरेंट वैल्यू विद द सेम की, वो ओवरराइड हो जाएगा, तो आपका ओल्ड वैल्यू निकल जाएगा. तो आई शो यू दैट शॉर्टली इन द पाई चार्ट. ठीक है. So how do you define a dictionary? As I told you in a very early class, हम कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट डेटा टाइप के लिए यूज करते हैं. तो वो डेटा टाइप डिक्शनरी है. ठीक है. डिफाइनिंग अ डिक्शनरी इज एक्सट्रीमली सिंपल. यू ओपन एंड क्लोज कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स, और कर्ली ब्रैकेट्स के अंदर you have key value pairs which are separated by commas. ठीक है. And each key value pair is separated by a colon. तो यहाँ पे we have 1, 2 and 3 key value pairs. ठीक है. One second, just let me check if this is being recorded. I'm not sure if this is being recorded. Okay, it is. Okay, so this is first key value, this is second key value, this is third key value. ठीक है. And within this key value, Python key है और A value है. Second में C key है, B value है. Third में Java key है, A value है. ठीक है. तो if you ask student, if you give student the key of Python, ये student dictionary will return A. If you give it C, it will return B. If you give it Java, it will return A. ठीक है. So let's just define this. Over here, let's just open up the Python console. ठीक है. I'll just copy this over. Okay. So now we have student defined. So accessing elements from the dictionary is extremely similar to list. तो list में हम कैसे करते हैं? For example, हमें अगर list में पहला element चाहिए तो we'll do A of 0. दूसरा element चाहिए तो A of 1 and so on. तो list में we access elements based on the position in the list. ठीक है. अगर मुझे 3 access करना है तो I'll do A of 2, where 2 indicates the position in the list. ठीक है. डिक्शनरी में ऑर्डरिंग का फर्क नहीं पड़ता. देयर इज नो ऑर्डरिंग इन अ डिक्शनरी. डिक्शनरी में यू जस्ट पास इट द की. तो यहाँ पे पाइथन, सी और जावा की है. ठीक है. सो इफ आई पास इन स्टूडेंट ऑफ, द square brackets is the same as in the list, but instead of giving a number here, an index here, you just pass in the key. So student of Python is A. Student of Java is, okay, sorry, student of Java is A. Student of what was the other one? B is C. Okay, I'm sorry. Student of C. We didn't have that, right? So as you can see over here, हमारे पास B नाम का कोई key नहीं था. ठीक है. And since we didn't have a B नाम का key, what happened is कि the dictionary threw an error, which was the key error. ठीक है. Stating that अरे ये key तो मेरे dictionary में है ही नहीं. You are making a bad request. Please abort. ठीक है. And this is extremely similar to index error in array. तो array में if you are asking for the 10,000th element और आपके पास 10,000 elements है नहीं, तो array will throw a index error for you. Okay. Moving on. So now that we know about dictionaries, we don't need to do spy underscore name, spy underscore age, spy underscore rating and so on. हम क्या कर सकते हैं कि we can just define a dictionary called spy. उसके बाद I can just assign the variable names as the keys and the values as the values, literally. ठीक है. So now if I do spy of name, I'll get Bond. Spy of salutation, I'll get Mr. Spy of is online, I'll get true, and so on. ठीक है. So this kind of this makes our code extremely simple. And one of the biggest things a programmer must do is that a programmer must write clean code. ठीक है. This is much more cleaner than what we had earlier. So the dictionary is the much better solution for our use case. ठीक है. Moving on. So Sarabdeep is asking me, sir, can you use fro spt detail this dictionary in other file? Yes, you can. In fact, I'm getting to it. That's exactly the spy I meant. That's exactly what my slide is saying, right? Look at this. So if you remember earlier, what we did was we had this. Let me just open up the project directory. Okay. Uh, if you remember, we had this file called spy details, okay? And we had something like spy name is equal to James Bond, spy, uske baad, spy age, and so on. So we don't need to do that now. We can just define a dictionary. And the best part is कि जब हम import करेंगे अपने test इस file में, ठीक है? All I have to do is import spy. So when I import spy, हम मेरे सारे details जो dictionary के अंदर है वो import हो जाएगा. I don't have to do anything like spy name, spy age, spy rating and so on. ये सब मुझे करने की कोई जरूरत ही नहीं है. Okay? अनदर एडेड एडवांटेज की अगर आपको ये लग रहा है कि अरे ये 5 डिटेल्स काफी नहीं है, मुझे इसका जेंडर चाहिए, इसका पापा का नाम चाहिए, स्कूल चाहिए, कॉलेज चाहिए, डिग्री चाहिए, मतलब कितने भी डिटेल्स हो, आपको बस यहाँ पे ऐड करना पड़ेगा. यहाँ पे आपको कोई कोड बदलने की जरूरत नहीं है. इट विल बी देयर फॉर यू टू एक्सेस. ठीक है, यू जस्ट एड इट ओवर देयर एंड देन यू डू स्पाई ऑफ एंड यू पास इन द की एंड द वैल्यू विल ऑटोमेटिकली बी अवेलेबल टू यू. Okay, moving on. So now since we know that this dictionary is a much better solution as compared to lists, what we can do is we can convert these 4 lists of variables into just one list. Okay, let's see how we do that. First things first, if you have your code with this spy underscore salutation wala syntax, you'll have to change that. Because we don't have these variables anymore, we just have one spy, and to access salutation inside spy, you will use the square bracket notation, which I have shown you with the student. Okay? So spy of salutation kya karta hai? It will return the value corresponding to the salutation key, and similarly for spy of name. Okay? Moving on. So you can define a dictionary this way. As I had shown you just now, if you try to print out a key which is not there in the dict, then what will happen? Is key, it will show you a key error, and this is very similar to what happens when you give an index which is not there in a list. Okay, so what do? Let's say for example आपके पास एक dictionary है and you want to access some variable. ठीक है, लेकिन आपको पता नहीं कि वो variable है कि नहीं, and problem ये है कि if you just आप अगर तुक्के मारोगे कि अरे हाँ ये variable होगा and by chance नहीं हुआ, तो पाइथन एरर थ्रो करेगा और आपका पूरा प्रोग्राम शट डाउन हो जाएगा. ठीक है, तो दैट इज अ वेरी बिग प्रॉब्लम. So to counter that, what we do is we use the in keyword. So it is as simple as what it seems in English. So to ask if some key is in a dictionary, what you will do is you will say key in dict. ठीक है, where key is the key and dictionary is the dictionary. So let's say I want to check if Java is in student. What I'll do is Java and student, and it will tell me it'll tell me key it's true. If I do Python in student, फिर से दिखाएगा कि it's true. If I do let's say C++ in student, it will show me कि it's false, क्योंकि ये है नहीं हमारे पास. ठीक है, so what you can do is you can basically use a if statement. All of you are extremely thorough with if statements by now, I'm sure. So what you will do is you will ask कि अरे if key in dictionary name है, then you can use dictionary name of key of name. You can access that. कोई error नहीं होगा. लेकिन by chance अगर वो नहीं है, तो you will use else and you will say key the key does not exist. So in this way your program will not throw an error and your program will not terminate. ठीक है? So you use the in keyword, and this is also possible with lists. So if you define a random list, let's say A, B, C and 1, so you can check if 1 is in A, true, 2 in A, true, ABC in A, true, but something like this in A, it'll tell you is false. Is 5 in A? False. Okay, so you can use this both with dictionaries and lists. In lists, you can search if an element is there in a list. In a dictionary, you can search if a key is there in a dictionary. Okay? Okay, moving on. So now we have to change the use of any 4 variables to a corresponding key in the dictionary element. Okay? So we'll have to use spy of name instead of name. So all of you, I think by now are familiar with how you can access the value from a dictionary by passing in the key within square brackets. Okay, So since we don't need 4 independent variables, हमें 4 lists की जरूरत ही नहीं है. So what we can do is, instead of defining 4 different lists, we'll define a list of dictionaries. Okay, we have one list, and in the list, all the elements will be dictionaries, where each dictionary will represent one friend. Okay, so that's a much more concise and a much more semantically correct syntax. Okay, so what we can do is, let's define this friends list, empty list है पहले, और फिर each element of that list will be a dictionary data type. Okay, so for add friend, let's define a function add friend. So how add friend works is you do def add friend, and then let's define a default dictionary. Okay, so let's define new friend and give it default variables. Say name is a blank string, salutation is 0. Let's default age and rating to 0.0. उसके बाद we'll ask for the raw input. Again, this is something that we covered last week, and I'm pretty sure all of you know to use this. Okay, so you'll use raw input since name and salutation are strings. You'll just use raw input as it is. Okay. After we get salutation, let's not store it separately. Our name के साथ ही Mr. जोड़ देते हैं, क्योंकि that's usually how things go, right? You call people with respect Mr. James Bond, yeah, Mr. I don't know, John Doe. Okay, so that's what the third line is doing. It's basically string concatenation, which is another topic that we have covered. In the last 2 lines, we are converting the raw input into int and float. So I had told you that raw input gives you strings, so you'll have to convert that using the int and the float functions respectively. Okay. So after that, what we do is we do a sanity check. So यहाँ पे we are doing a sanity check कि let's check कि whatever details that have been entered by the user are correct. कि user ने वैसे ही enter नहीं दबा दिया, या age कुछ उल्टा सीधा नहीं डाल दिया, या new friend का rating spy rating से ज़्यादा हो गया and stuff. ठीक है? So we just do a if statement, seeing that that the name is greater than 0, so at least one character in your name, age 12 से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए, new friend का rating जो है वो spy rating से I'm sorry, I think yeah, न्यू फ्रेंड का जो रेटिंग है वो स्पाई रेटिंग से ज्यादा होना चाहिए. उसके बाद ही हम फ्रेंड्स डॉट अपेंड करेंगे. ठीक है? इफ एनी वन ऑफ दिस कंडीशंस फेल, सिंस दिस इज एन एंड, ऑल ऑफ द कंडीशंस शुड पास. अगर एक भी फेल हो गया तो इट विल से दैट सॉरी, इनवैलिड एंट्री, वी कांट ऐड स्पाई टू द विद द डिटेल्स यू प्रोवाइडेड. ओके, मूविंग ऑन. So now we have created a single list and for storing the details of all our friends, and each friend is stored as a dictionary in the list. Okay. So what we did right now is called code refactoring, which is something that I told you at the beginning of this presentation. Okay. So refactoring is the process of taking existing code and improving it. हमारा जो list का वो जो code था वो completely correct था. It was correct code, वो चल जाता. But that wasn't the best way to do it. Okay, we programmers are supposed to be lazy at heart. So we are supposed to find the data types which will make our lives the easiest. Okay, so instead of using 4 variables and 4 lists, what we did is we used a dictionary element. Okay, so this is one of the most famous quotes that you'll find in almost every software startup office. Okay, you'll find this in a lot of style guides too. So what it says कि कोई भी logical correct code लिख सकता है, लेकिन वही अपना वो नहीं होता. The thing that differentiates a bad software engineer from a good software engineer from a great software engineer is the amount of good code he's able to write, he or she is able to write. So a great software engineer makes use of the correct data types, okay, and has the other best practices that I've been talking with you for so long. For example, covering edge cases, using comments, and refactoring code, etc. Okay. So code refactoring important because it helps you find errors. If you did that list accessing, so let's say even you missed off the index of any 2 elements, and let's say you have around 50,000 friends. So finding an error in such a place would be extremely annoying. Okay. So in some cases, the speed will also be hampered if you don't use the correct data type. हमारे use case में it doesn't matter a lot, but when you're working with extremely huge applications, thinking about the correct data type is extremely important. इसीलिए अगर आप मतलब बड़े बड़े कंपनीज में अगर इंटरव्यू करोगे जैसे गूगल या फेसबुक, आप देखोगे कि उनके टेक्निकल इंटरव्यू राउंड्स में हमेशा एल्गोरिथम्स एंड डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स पूछते ही हैं, ठीक है. सो यू नीड टू नो व्हाट काइंड ऑफ डेटा टाइप्स टू यूज इन व्हाट प्लेसेस, एंड पाइथन gives you very very rich data types. Okay, so now that we know about dictionaries, let's work on adding a feature to send a message to a friend. Okay, so the first step is before sending a message we need to know who we need to send it to. So if you open up WhatsApp, you know a list of friends will be shown, and then you'll tap on one friend, and then you'll go to that friend's messaging screen, and then you'll start texting. Okay, in our case we don't have a touch screen, so we will be working with the terminal, and in a terminal you can only type, so we will ask the user to type the friend's name or choice instead of touching. ठीक है. Apart from that, the logic is basically the same. WhatsApp का भी जो logic है, मतलब in a very very broad sense it's the same. ठीक है. So let's create a function, select a friend. Okay, so this what this function will do is when you call this function, it will ask the user for an input, and then it will return the index of the friend in the selected list. So if I want the index to my friend, let's say Joe, so this function will print out all the friends of all my friends. I will see कि अरे Joe 50th position में है मेरे list में. I will type in 50, and then the function will basically see कि अरे he wants the 50th friend. हम zero based index पे हैं, तो that means 49, and it will return 49 to us. So now if you did friends of 49, you will get the dictionary which has all the values of the friend Joe. Okay, so in code, how will that look? First step first, let's display the list of friends. So we will do that using the for loop which we covered in the last class. Okay, that will be followed by item number equal to item number plus 1, because this statement is there because we want it to be user friendly. So in real life we don't count using from 0, right? We count from 1. So nobody says 0th element. So if we want a person to select the 0th element, we know कि he is going to say 1. So that's why we do the increment over there. ठीक है? We ask for the friend choice. उसके बाद we take the choice, and since the choice is raw input, we convert that into an int, and then we do the -1. Here we did the +1 to get back the index. We do a -1 again, and then we return the friend choice position. Okay. So that is one error in this function which I had explained earlier. That is key. The opening and the closing brackets weren't there. So make sure that that is there in your functions. Even if you don't have an argument, please put in an open and a close bracket. Okay. Okay, so that completes dictionaries. The second part of this lecture today will be on Python libraries. So I'm assuming most of you were there when I had shown you the music.py application. So उसमें मैंने क्या किया था? If you remember, there were a lot of import statements on the top, and I told you कि these aren't this isn't code which I had written. I told you कि I had installed it from outside, from the internet. And I had also told you this कि मतलब developers बहुत lazy होते हैं. अगर किसी का code already है, तो हमें लिखना नहीं है. ठीक है? कोई point नहीं है लिखने का. So even when you're working in big companies or if you're working as an independent developer, आप जो अपने आप के लिए develop करोगे, ठीक है? आपका जो code base होगा, a majority of it will be imported. वो आप खुद नहीं लिखोगे. Okay, so knowing how to import Python libraries is one of the most important skills, and that is the only way you can actually, harness the power of Python. तो अगर आपको Python libraries use करने का नहीं आता, तो मतलब Python की power ही देख नहीं पाओगे आप. Python is one of the richest languages on the planet. You can do anything with Python, and what gives Python this kind of power is its libraries. ठीक है? So where do these Python libraries come from? जैसे YouTube के लिए एक वीडियो, मतलब वीडियोस के लिए you have websites like YouTube and Netflix and stuff. there is also a website which is just collection of Python repositories. तो जैसे आप YouTube में जाके search कर सकते हो for a particular video, you can go to this website and search for a particular package. Okay, and unlike YouTube, which does not allow you to download, Python का जो package index है, that is totally free. You can download any library you want for free. ठीक है, Python open source है, तो developers जो भी code लिखता है वो कोई और भी use कर सकता है if he or she uploads it to the internet. ठीक है, so that's one of the biggest parts of Python. It's open source, so there are millions of libraries for you to use and all of them are free. आपको pirate नहीं करना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, तो as I told you, Python is one of the richest languages. So like literally anything that you can ask for. ठीक है, मुझे वेब ऐप बनाना है, उसके लिए लाइब्रेरीज है. मुझे डेटा साइंस करना है, लाइब्रेरीज है. I want to do maths, I want to do science, I want to plot, I want to download music, I want to schedule tasks, I want to create desktop apps, I want to create mobile apps. Anything that you want, there is probably a Python library for it. Okay, you just need to know how to search. Okay, where do you search? This is the website. So this is called the Python Packaging Index. So you'll probably not search it in this website. You'll probably do a Google search for Python library for downloading music. और उसके बाद आ जाएगा. But the place where you install it from the terminal is this page, which is the Python Package Index. So यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हो कि there are a lot of libraries. You can search for anything that you want. Let's see a few libraries which are latest, which are featured. So you can see कि these libraries do a lot of things. For example, PyTicketSwitch is a interface for the Ingresso F13 API. तो अगर आपको ये API use करना है तो it gives you a nice interface. To do PyFlash, to get Flash like superpowers. So basically, there is a software called Flash. I don't know how many of you have heard of it. So to get the powers of that software, you can basically use PyFlash. Okay? So you can see there are a lot of use cases over here. Let me show you something which a lot of people use. There is this library called Matplotlib, which is used for plotting. आपको अगर बार plot करना है या histogram या scatter plot, कुछ भी अगर plot करना हो तो mostly people use Matplotlib. ठीक है? If you want to do a lot of heavy mathematics like matrix multiplication and stuff, then you will use something called NumPy. If you want to do machine learning, you'll use something called scikit-learn. So you can see description में लिखा है set of Python modules for machine learning and data mining, and so on. Okay. Oops, sorry about that. You're in the browser, right? So let me just move this. Okay. So the next question is कि how do we install these libraries into our computers? So the way we do that is by using the pip command, and this is again something that I had shown you. Okay, I'd shown you how I was using pip install in front of you, right? So now I'm going to teach you how to do it. So there are installation instructions available for you. Okay, if you're on a Mac or on an Ubuntu machine, it's extremely simple. In Mac, what you do is you run this command called brew install Python. अगर आप brew install Python run करोगे तो Python install हो जाएगा और pip भी install हो जाएगा उसके साथ. ठीक है, this is the easiest way to do it. If you're on Linux, you do something like sudo apt-get install pip and it will get installed. Windows is a slightly more complicated affair, so most probably you would have had pip installed along with your Python package. If that is the case, then it's brilliant. If that's not the case, then you'll probably have to follow these instructions. Okay, it's a little more involved, but it's easy. It's just that there are a few more steps. Okay, if you're not able to get this done, please get in contact with us, but chances are you have already installed it. Okay, moving on. So when you work at a large startup or a large company, you will see कि every company has a lot of projects. हमेशा एक project में कोई काम नहीं करता. ठीक है, even if it's a very small company, there'll at least be 3-4 repositories. ठीक है, and each project has its own set of dependencies. तो each project को एक library की जरूरत होती है और उस library का particular version number का जरूरत होता है. So you can have a Python project which needs a 2.7.0 version of requests, and you can have another project जहाँ पे you want 2.17.3. ठीक है? तो if you do a global pip install, अगर आप globally pip install करोगे, तो that gets installed throughout the system. Okay, and pip will install only one version at a time. So that is not something we want because our project will break. Okay, if you use 2.17.3 in this wala project where you want 2.7.0, it will break. Similarly, in 2.17.3 ऐसे कुछ methods होंगे जो इस old version में नहीं होगा. Again, your project will break. So this is not something that we want. So what we are going to do is we are going to use something called virtual environments. Okay. So what is a virtual environment? The concept of a virtual environment is extremely similar to dual booting. Okay, so there are, I'm sure a lot of people must have or at least seen a dual booted system. The dual booted system में क्या होता है कि you have two operating systems together, okay, and you can boot only one at a time. Okay, so let's say in my Mac I have Mac and Windows together. Okay, so when I switch on my laptop, if I go to Windows, I will be in the Windows operating system और मेरे Windows system में सिर्फ Windows के programs चलेंगे. ठीक है? And if I install something in Windows, let's say I install PowerPoint in Windows, वो सिर्फ Windows में ही चलेगा. उसके बाद अगर मैं Mac OS में switch कर दिया, तो वो PowerPoint मुझे नहीं मिलेगा. ठीक है? तो on the flip side, if I install something on Mac, वो मुझे Windows में नहीं मिलेगा. ठीक है? तो this concept is exactly replicated in virtual environment. Okay, so the best thing about virtual environment is कि now what we can do is we can create two different virtual environments. Basically, we'll create one Windows वाला system, one Mac वाला system in the same machine, और उसके बाद we'll use different versions of libraries. So let's say कि एक project, let's call one project Mac, one project Windows. तो मैं अपने Mac में एक library install करूँगा और Windows में दूसरी library install करूँगा और उनके versions अलग होंगे. ठीक है? So that makes our work extremely easy. And trust me when I say this, कि if you go to any startup or a company where you're working with Python, the first thing they'll ask you to learn is virtual environment. ठीक है? If you don't know that, they'll be like, अरे बेटा अभी सीख लो, क्योंकि this is the first thing that you need to know if you want to work with us. Okay? So how do we install virtual environment? Now that you have pip, it's as simple as running pip install virtual env. Okay, this thing is irritating me a little. Let me try and move that. So we'll run something like pip install virtual env. ठीक है? It'll tell me कि it's already satisfied क्योंकि मेरे पास already virtual environment है. ठीक है? Okay, so after this, what we're going to do is to create a virtual environment on Windows, what you'll run is virtual env space new env. This will work on Windows, Linux, and on some Mac PC, Mac laptops. Okay, but in some Mac OSs, this will not work. So if I run something like this, it won't work on my machine, it will work in yours. Okay, so if you have this problem on a Mac, what you'll run is Python -m virtual env followed by the name of your environment. ये कुछ भी हो सकता है. I can name it env or VNV and so on. Okay, so I've already created one virtual environment named test. Okay, I'm sorry, test env and test env2. Okay, I've already created these environments. So how I did that, I basically went into this folder and I ran. For your case, what you'll do is you'll run virtual env test env. Okay, and then virtual env test env2 अगर आपको एक और create करना है. ठीक है? Okay, moving on. So after that, once you create the virtual environment, creating a virtual environment is like installing a new OS. ठीक है? But that's not enough. You also need to boot the OS. So the way you need to boot a virtual environment is by running this. So this is new env, which the name of your environment, whatever name you have given it, followed by / scripts, followed by / activate. So this is the way you start a new virtual environment in Windows. Okay, if you're in a Linux or a Mac, the way to do it is source test n. For my environment name is test n, followed by let's say in my case it will be bin, and then activate. And to know how, if it is working, what you will see is कि आपके command prompt में ये एकदम brackets में आपका environment का नाम आ जाएगा. Even in Windows this happens, so you can see over here. Okay. So now you have a virtual environment and you know how to boot a virtual environment. Okay, so let's just demonstrate. Okay, before that, let's just see how we can come out of an environment. So basically, that's like shutting down. So the way to do it is very simple. You just type in deactivate. Once you type in, you see कि वो ये वाला हट गया है, and now you are in your global environment. ठीक है? Let's just do a small thing. What we're going to do is we are going to install two different versions of the request libraries in two different projects. So मैं test n में 2.7.0 install करूँगा और test n 2 में 2.17.3 install करूँगा. ठीक है? So these commands were already run in the previous class. I just typed them in, but I'm not going to run them for you. Okay? So booting up test n, then I'll do pip install requests equal to 2.7.0. Okay, it'll tell me that it already exists. Okay, so then I'll do a pip list, and then you can see कि मेरे पास request set 2.7.0 वाला. ठीक है? Now let's deactivate. Let's go to the other test environment, which is test environment 2. Okay, now let's install a separate package, requests equal to 2.17.3. Okay, so let it install. Okay, so let's ask for list. And now you can see request is in 2.17.3. So let's see if this worked. Okay, let's deactivate and go back to our first environment, which is test n. Sorry. Wait. Let's ask for the list. Okay. So you can see that the request files are different. In test n2 is 2.17.3. Here is 2.7.0. So this is how you use virtual environments. Okay. So that's all for today. What we have learned were dictionaries, Python libraries. I taught you how to use the pip tool, how to install it and how to use it. And then we worked on virtual environments and how virtual environments work, basically. How to install two different versions of a library within your same system in two different environments. Okay. So as homework, I expect you guys to try out these stuff. And please start working on your project if you already haven't. Okay, that's about it. So if you guys have any kind of doubts, please let me know. I think we have actually finished it way beforehand. I was expecting it to take an hour. We've done it in 45 minutes. So if you guys have any kind of questions, please let me know. We actually have plenty of time. If not, I'll just, okay, Prashant is asking me how does dictionary allocate in memory. So Prashant, so for that, dictionaries under the hood uses this data type called hash table. So have you heard of a hash table? If you haven't, please just Google it, okay? So the way to do it is by a hash table, and Python has its own hash function. तो इसमें काम क्या है कि डिक्शनरी बेसिकली अंडर द हुड एक बहुत बड़ा लिस्ट है एंड आफ्टर दैट the key that you're giving to the dictionary, what it does is it passes that key to a function called a hash function, which will convert that key into the corresponding index. Okay, it will take a key and it will convert it into an index. Then it will use that hash table to check कि उस index में कौन सा value है, and then it will return it. Okay, so these are extremely complicated topics. It won't be covered in this class, but if you're interested, you can Google up hash table and you can see what hash functions Python uses. Okay, no problem, Shubham. It's my pleasure. Thank you for attending. Anything else? Okay, good. So I'll begin the next class at 9. Okay. I'll just keep this live for another 4 minutes. If you have any questions, then I'm going to just switch this session. And at 9 o'clock, we'll